Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I'm out this morning at Riverside Country Park, a location I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with. Today though, I want to talk to you about my month-long absence from YouTube, from all forms of social media, and basically what my thoughts are for the future of both my photography and YouTube. But first, let's have some B-roll. So first things first, where have I been for the last month? Well, to be completely honest, I lost all motivation for photography. I went out at the start of July, I recorded my last video, the one talking about AI, and recording it, I just couldn't get my words out. I just couldn't, things wouldn't go right. I couldn't get the images I produced, I wasn't 100% happy with. I went to all the effort to create the video, so I thought I'll upload it anyway, and deep down, to be honest, I wish I hadn't. And I just looked at that video back and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to put the camera down for a little while. I didn't want to go out that particular day. I'm forcing myself to go out, to record videos, to produce images, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it. And I just thought, put the camera down for a little while, however long it takes. I knew it would only be a temporary measure. I knew that I'd be back out with the camera. It just depended on how long it would be, and to be honest, 3 weeks I didn't pick up the camera. There wasn't one occasion where I thought, okay, I want to get back out. It was just a case I forgot the camera was out of sight, out of mind. I didn't even go into Lightroom, didn't do any image editing. I just thought, look, it's just about taking a break. Eventually I knew that motivation would return. I've got an amazing photography holiday coming up in the next week or so. So there'll be 1 or 2 videos, and then there'll probably be a week break because I'll be away, I won't be able to produce anything, and then I'll be sharing some video, some images, I hope, from a fantastic location here in England, and I'll be sharing that hopefully in my next video. Interrupting my fascinating talk with you there, I've just seen this lovely image like this. We've got this path leading us back, we've got some high-rise flats in the distance. Makes quite a nice image. Might create a nice image, might not, but it's all about capturing what I see. That's the main point as to why I get out each day with the camera. You see, in some ways, absolutely nothing has changed. When I go out and I record video like this, I still make sure I prioritise the photography. I've been out this morning, and I think already at this stage I've captured something like 53 images. Some of those will be multiple exposures, so they'll be condensed down into a single image, but I still try and prioritise photography over producing video. And I guess in some ways I've just forgotten that, because out of the blue one evening I noticed that there's a slight potential for a beautiful, beautiful sunset. I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to pick up the camera. This is completely out of the blue. I've not pre-planned it. I thought there's a spot I want to go to. I remember going there earlier in the year, and I thought at the time, this would be a beautiful location for a sunset. This would be a beautiful scene. I thought to myself, I'm going to go out there. I'm not going to do any video work. I'm just going to take the camera out and just remember the reason why I enjoy photography. And the funny thing is, it was right over there. There's a boat, you might not be able to see it. And that was the main subject. And I realised during sunset that I go out for the moment. I go out to enjoy a golden hour. I go out to enjoy the beauty that golden hour brings. And I enjoy taking images. I enjoy recording video of those moments. And that is what got me into all this in the first place. And it took me until that moment to realise that's why I enjoyed getting out. And it was just that light bulb. If I hadn't gone out, who knows what would have got me back into it. But it was just, in the end, it was just getting out with the camera, just taking image after image, and it was like, this is what got me into the hobby in the first place. And I guess sometimes you just need a break from that. And what's amazing is the fact that other YouTube photographers have actually produced a similar video of late. Keith Guppy, Chris Grange, two of them to mention. I'll put their channels in the description below for you to go have a look. They've both talked about how they want to be a photographer first, a YouTube photographer second. And it's kind of given me that confidence. It's nice when you know you're not the only one out there struggling. And it was during my lack of motivation, I was watching Chris Grange's video, and he said, he made an excellent point about how we go out as photographers to enjoy nature first, photography second. And it was that moment that made me realise, yeah, this is why I come out. And there's one other reason that I'm out here this morning. You see, when I came out for sunset and I was over shooting the boat in the background, I came here first of all just to take some images, just to see if I could capture some new compositions. And now I came across a subject I'd never expected to come across. Rarely see it down here in this part of the country. It's usually up on the Peak District, more around the Yorkshire moors. And I thought to myself, brilliant. I'll give it a couple of weeks, see if it appears a little bit more on what a good composition it might be. So I'm going to take you along now and we'll see if we can capture it. So what does this mean for the future of my channel? Well, I want to get back to just focusing on the photography, sharing how I go from having the image here on the live view to on screen at the end. I just want to get you into my mindset of how I think about the composition, how I think about the settings, and of course take you along and let you just see how I take my images. I know I've done a few opinionated videos in the past, not a fan of them, to be completely honest. I just want to focus on enjoying the photography, so you'll probably see a lot less. You might not even see any of them going forward. And it brings me on to our main subject that I talked about just a minute ago, and our final shot. You're probably not able to see the subject. We've got a little bit of harsh light now. The sun is coming up, the perils of summer. It'll be good when we get into autumn and we start getting some lovely colours and we get some more atmosphere in the sky. But our subject today, we've just got a little bit of it over on the banks, is some wild heather. It's usually found around the Peak District on the Yorkshire Dales. It's not often we find it down here in the southeast of England. I know this is only the second place I've ever found it, and I'll be doing a video at the other location later on next month, most like. But here we've got some lovely bits of wild heather dotted around the banks of this little bit of a pond, and we just need to make sure that when we put this final composition together, if we're utilising any of these rocks, I'll make sure there's a nice bit of separation between each of them where possible. I might even have to go round the other side of the pond and just focus in on the heather in the background. But we're going to go for this one main shot for the time being. I'm going to have to go nice and I'm going to have to really overexpose for this first shot, really get the detail in the rocks, hopefully capture some of that pink, that purple in the heather in the background, because like I say, we've got all this harsh light in the background, and then of course I'll slowly take one shot after the other and stitch them together in Lightroom to produce that final composure. So because I'm wanting to take a couple of shots around this pond, I'm not going to bother talking you through the composition. I'm not going to bother talking you through the live view here today. At the moment, for this first shot, I'm ISO 100 tripod, f8, perfect amount of detail in sharpness. It might be a case of we'll try and go for a bit more of a painterly look in Lightroom. We'll have to just see what the image comes out like afterwards. And at the moment, we're at 1/20th of a second. If I move the shutter to a nice amount, we'll probably end up with 1/320th of a second by the time we're done with this first shot. Let's drop back. We don't actually want to be at 1/20th of a second because we want to expose to the right as much as possible with the histogram. So I'm actually about 1/50th of a second. Actually, I might have to go exaggerate. I'm actually going to go to 1/20th of a second, just like I say, so I can get the detail in this foreground. There's the first shot, and as you saw, I forgot to put the 2-second timer on. So let's go back into the settings, add that just to be on the safe side. There's the shot after the 2-second timer has been activated. And hopefully, here's a selection of shots from this beautiful, beautiful spot.